ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुक्तपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश श्रीरूपसाग्रजाता साधना रघुनाथं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सवधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदा साधना ललिता श्रीविशाखाभितंश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते कविचन्द्र स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते प्रभुपदारितारि नमः प्रचारिणे ग्रन्थावितरण पृथिव्यशिषगयिने सदा नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी वास्यत्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So let's continue from where we stopped yesterday. Before we start, can somebody quickly remind us what we have done, what we did yesterday? Just quick reminder. Quick one.
We did stop at
Nobody?
yes, Prabhu, we did stop at text 42 of chapter 3. We discussed regarding the senses that our senses are really powerful, and that the soul should be engaged in devotional service. And also it is important that engaging the senses into Krishna consciousness can also help us control the senses.
Thank you very much. Somebody else want to add something to what Prabhu said? Anyone? Feel free. Just tell your power of remembrance, memory. Yeah, Nyarika Mataji is smiling. She wants to tell us something. Okay.
No,
Ashaya
I
Mataji.
mean, Asraya Mataji unmuted her mic, so she might want to say something.
Yeah, Ashaya Mataji, please go ahead.
It's okay, Matani. Harika, you can say first, and I can share something after.
No, actually, I was not gonna say something. However, I did remember a lot of examples yesterday based on the people with having hard time controlling their lust, and also basically the main topic yesterday was extensive what do you call it one connotations basing on what lust is and how lust becomes like a very like the very enemy of a person who's trying to control his senses or her senses. So basically, that's what I remembered, and examples from Prabhu Kavi, and as well as examples from Prabhu Chaitanya.
Thank you very much. And I remember Ryan Prabhu told me after the class that she wants to share with us. Ryan Prabhu, the floor is yours. Now share your experience with us about lust. Are you there, Ryan Prabhu? Your hand is covering this camera. Are you finding it difficult to unmute yourself?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So yesterday, I want also to share with this example of controlling the lust, because this is the root cause of controlling your senses and your mind as well. So I remember before, when I am not actively practicing my spiritual life, it's very, very hard to control the senses. So many desires, and most of them are, are not all in alignment with the Vedic knowledge. It's all about material and pleasure. So when I also watch some of the videos in the YouTube about the Vedic knowledge, and the guru is explaining that it says that
Raya Prabhu.
hello,
Raya
yeah,
Prabhu, are you hearing me?
yes,
We want to hear your personal experience, not
yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
Okay.
I want to dovetail the teaching what I've learned just recently. I cannot remember. I think a month ago, that he says that when even the alignment of the planets can affect the person, because I think it's something, he says something about your zodiac sign, or yeah, it's similarly like that. So you will become agitated. You will become you will have a mood swing. So but in if you are doing a devotional service, you will not be affected by these energies, these negative energies. And this is exactly what I experienced, because when you dedicate your time after all your um, worldly responsibilities, if you are always thinking Krishna, then you will not have any attachment to these worldly desires. Because before, when
Thank you very much.
yeah,
Thank you very much. Ashray Mataji, please, can you unmute yourself?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Panchakalpa. So I just want to share this how do you call it, this realization that I had. So in the when I was having a conversation with my Guru Maharaj, he did inform me that we have to be very careful with our association with a opposite sex. So we cannot be so open like ha 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 hi, ho ho ho, because I mean, like, we, like, for example, we are thinking, oh, this is my brother, she is my sister. But then my Guru Maharaj told me that the modes of material nature is very strong. So even though you're not thinking like something, how do you call it, something to the devotee, because you are so open, you can actually agitate their mind. So in our movement, it is very important that we have to be having etiquette. So we have to really respect the Prabhu and the Mataji. So especially Brahmachari, we cannot be so open to them like ha 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 oh, yes Prabhuji, and suddenly they become disturbed because we don't want them to meditate on us. We want them to think of Krishna. So we have to be very, very respectful with opposite sex. Try not to have same how do you call it, same seva with them, because as my Guru Maharaj said, the modes of material nature is very strong. It can really affect. So I remember in our sangha here in Olongapo, the Prabhu asked me to do service with him together. I really like strictly say, oh sorry Prabhuji, I cannot do the service with you alone. Maybe I can do it with other Mataji, but with Prabhu we have to be very, very respectful to them, to protect them and to protect us as well. So I just want to share that. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. That is a very nice one, actually. Yeah, because see, this is a very practical one, actually. Because see, also, although in the name of devotional service, quote and unquote, devotion, devotion, devotion. And if the opposite genders become unrestrictedly mixed together, doing the service together, then before you know, there will be troubles. Because according to the scripture, just like the example Ashramata is giving, according to the scripture, the men are like butter and the women are like fire. So when the fire and the butter come together, butter will naturally melt, naturally. So thank you for nicely, humbly, refusing And, in that way you protect yourself and you protect the Prabhuji also. Because everything starts from there. I've seen in my country where Prabhuji and Mataji doing service together, before you know, they start romancing themselves inside the altar room. Inside the altar room. The lust is so strong to that extent that you forget that Krishna is in the altar. And you start misbehaving even very close to the altar. That is how strong lust is. You don't know when we say lust, you don't know what it means. It's very crazy, So that is why, as a devotee, we have to understand this and really be, really, like Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, we have to avoid, intimate, when the neophyte has to try as much as possible to avoid coming in contact with the object of the senses. We have to try as much. There's nothing like I'm so advanced. You will become bewildered. You cannot be so advanced, more advanced than Haridas Thakur. We are all practicing. So we should follow the scriptures strictly in terms of coming in contact with the senses and object of the senses. Very, very important. Hare Krishna. So we just continue from, thank you for sharing. I think this is like spillover from yesterday. Thank you for the sharing, and let's continue and finish the verse today. I think we are supposed to take 43 today. Oh, who is Ashara Marasagi waving hand to? Who are you waving hand to?
I think it's Mother.
Mata Michika, because it's rare to see her, so I was very happy.
Oh, so you are not focusing on the lecture, we are looking at Mother Michika.
No, I focus on the lecture, but I saw her. I was just so happy. I saw her. I'm just so happy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. Madam Michika, she will not come, but she will just come there to come and show her face. So we acknowledge that. She's a very senior devotee. Okay, so we are in the final verse, and let's read this one, and we will stop here. And then there's some examination. We are going to do close book examination. We have to do that on. I'm thinking we should keep our close book examination for every Fridays. Once we finish a particular section, because 1 to 3 is a section, and then once we finish that section, then we do our closed book examination on Fridays. So when we will finish this today, then we can do our closed book examination on Friday. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Sounds like a plan.
Yes, Prabhu. Are we ready for that? Are we ready for closed book examination? Or some people are scared of exam. Don't be scared of examination. Okay, so Evam Pude Param Buddha Samsta Vyatmanam Atmana Jai Shatrum Mahabao Kama Rupa Durashadam. Okay, thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, Almighty Hamu Arjuna. One should study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness, and thus, by spiritual strength, conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. So Krishna is giving the final and concluding solution to conquering lust. Thus knowing oneself to be transcendental, so what Krishna is referring to here is the soul. The soul is completely transcendental to the beyond the material senses, the mind and intelligence. So knowing that we, the soul, we are completely transcendental to the mind, in senses and intelligence, one should study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so this is very, very important. Let's read this, a very short purport. Somebody want to read, then we can discuss more on this. Then we will round this up. Then we can Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. This third chapter of Bhagavad Gita is conclusively directed to Krishna consciousness by knowing oneself as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, without considering impersonal voidness the ultimate end. In the material existence of life, one is certainly influenced by propensities for lust and desire for dominating the resources of material nature. Desire for overlording and for sense gratification is the greatest enemy of the conditioned soul. But by strength of Krishna consciousness, one can control the material senses, the mind, and the intelligence. One may not give up work and prescribed duties all of the sudden, but by gradually developing Krishna consciousness, one can be situated in a transcendental position without being influenced by the material senses and the mind, by steady intelligence directed toward one's pure identity. This is the sum total of this chapter. In the immature stage of material existence, philosophical speculations and artificial attempts to control the senses by the so-called practice of yogic postures can never help a man towards spiritual life. He must be trained in Krishna consciousness by higher intelligence. Thus end Bhaktivedanta purports to the third chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of Karma Yoga, or the discharge of one's prescribed duty in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much, Prabhu. So, how to build this spiritual intelligence? We can only build this spiritual and steady intelligence to help us to overcome loss by studying the scripture. By studying, there is no alternative. There is no other way. Because we are the spirit soul, completely different from the mind, intelligence, and the senses. We know this. And mind you, whatever happiness and distress this body is experiencing, the soul is completely aloof. We're going to learn more about this one as we continue in the Bhagavad Gita study. The soul is complete. Our happiness and distress doesn't touch the soul. The soul is completely different from all the happiness and distress of this body, the mind. The thing that is perceiving this happiness and distress is our mind. Our mind is what is perceiving this happiness and distress. For example, I will just give an example. You see, sometimes we feel hot, sometimes we feel cold. It has nothing to do with the soul. It's the mind, it's the perception, it's the mind and the senses, they are the one perceiving all this. And that is why the Gita again and again is telling us we should learn to tolerate. We should learn to tolerate, because these are all the senses and the mind who is perceiving this. It's just like when you are wearing a colored glass. Like let's say, for example, you are wearing color red or yellow. Then you see yellow, yellow, yellow. You see red, red, red. Doesn't mean that those things you are seeing is red or is yellow. It doesn't mean that. It's just because of what you are wearing. So based on our perception, that is what we experience in this material. That is why, as a devotee, the more we study and the scripture, then we should learn how to control our emotions. Sometimes somebody says something that is making us to become very hungry. You say, calm down, just calm down. You are not that thing that you are told. You are not stupid. Sometimes somebody tells you are stupid. That does not mean that you are stupid. Just say, calm down. I'm not stupid. If I'm reacting, means I'm really stupid. So in that way, as a devotee, we can learn to control when we know that we are not the body, we are not the mind, and we use our intelligence to be able to fix ourselves in Krishna consciousness. It's very, very, so the last purport and this last verse is telling, because the soul is completely beyond this body, the senses, the mind and intelligence, one should be able to understand that we are not all these things we are identifying ourselves to be. And that is why we can control lust. It's not that if I don't do this now, I will die. No, it's not true. You will not die. Once you control it, once you tolerate it, the desire will go away. the desire will go away. Because when you try to fulfill the desire, it keeps us coming even more stronger and stronger. And you become enslaved to that desire. Once you start satisfying and trying to fulfill it, you become enslaved. And once you become a slave, you are finished. So that is why we should understand, based on Krishna's guidance from this particular verse, that we should steady our mind and control. So let's quickly go through Surrender Unto Me and read the final. Let me just share it. Somebody can read it. The Surrender Unto Me, so that somebody can read it for their own benefit. Somebody can see it. Can you see? Somebody can see? Can you see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So if you can see, please read.
Tripura, maybe you can read.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. We should use the strength of our intelligence, which should be trained and fixed in transcendental knowledge, to protect us from falling victim into inappropriate actions impelled by passion, Rajoguna. In this chapter, Krishna has glorified transcendental knowledge as that which elevates us from Sakama Karma Yoga to Nishkama Karma Yoga, from the platform on which we perform our duty with attachment to the platform of unattached action. Transcendental knowledge has been described as having the power to purify our consciousness from passion and exalt it to goodness. Now, in the final verse of this chapter, Krishna has certified transcendental knowledge as being able to award our intelligence the strength to overcome lusty desires. After describing so many of the benefits of transcendental knowledge, Krishna will further glorify it in chapter 4. Prabhupada summarizes this chapter as follows. This third chapter of Bhagavad Gita is conclusively directive to Krishna consciousness by knowing oneself as the eternal servitor of Supreme Personality of Godhead, without considering impersonal voidness the ultimate end. In the material existence of life, one is certainly influenced by propensities of lust and desire for dominating the resources of material nature. Desire for overlording and for the sense gratification is the greatest enemy of the conditioned soul. But by the strength of Krishna consciousness, one can control the material senses, the mind, and the intelligence. One may not give up work and prescribed duties all of a sudden, but by gradually developing Krishna consciousness, one can be situated in a transcendental position without being influenced by the material senses and the mind, by steady intelligence directed towards one pure identity. This is the sum total of this chapter. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Very fast. Very fast reading. Very good. So yeah, see, we can see the whole content is summarized here in Surrender Unto Me. So Krishna gradually tried to teach Arjuna how to come from Sakama Karma Yoga, means devotional service you perform with desire for the results, to Nishkama Karma Yoga, that is engaging in devotional service without being attached to the result. Then towards the end, Arjuna brought this question about, okay, you have explained this about Nishkama Karma Yoga, but in some time in trying to follow the injunction of the scripture, we commit sin as if we are being forced, and we forget this scriptural injunction. So what is the cause? Then Krishna started talking about lust, and he concluded here by telling Arjuna about the soul being the ultimate, the supreme, that by understanding we are the soul, just like he has explained in chapter 2, understanding we are the soul, the spirit soul in the body, different from the mind, intelligence, and the senses, then ultimately we can control this lust, which born out of mode of passion. So we should not let our passion degrade to ignorance. Rather, we should elevate ourselves to the mode of goodness by using spiritual intelligence. And how to strengthen that spiritual intelligence? By knowledge. So Krishna is going to describe chapter 4, how to strengthen the spiritual intelligence by knowledge, which is transcendental knowledge. That is chapter 4. So Krishna is going to explain the transcendental knowledge to Arjuna, and he's going to tell him his purpose of his appearance, why he appeared in this world, and the power of transcendental knowledge, and how knowledge can elevate you and destroy the lower modes, and all this. So this is like prelude to chapter 4. So Krishna is going to tell him, okay, I've told you, by understanding knowledge, that is the only way we can conquer lust. Then he's going to explain about chapter 4 to Arjuna. So this is a conclusion, this is a connection between chapter 3 and chapter 4, because every chapter has its own connection with each other. So this is a connection, okay? Krishna is going to now describe about transcendental, proper name chapter 4, transcendental knowledge. Krishna is going to describe transcendental knowledge to Arjuna. Any comments or contribution questions so far?
Prabhuji, I have a question, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please go ahead, Mata.
Is lust, I mean, is anger also lust? That's my question.
Anger. Oh. Anger is not loss. Anger is degradation of loss. When loss is not satisfied, it transforms into anger. So anger is the physical manifestation of lust. Lust is very subtle. Lust cannot be detected. Okay? It's very subtle. No one can detect lust. If one is lustful, very difficult to detect it because it's very subtle. But when it transforms into anger, gross. So that is why an anger is born out of mode of ignorance. Ignorance. So it means that from passion, loss is on the mode of passion, Rajoguna. So when we are unable to control loss on the platform of Rajoguna, passion, then it brings us to the level of anger, that is Tamoguna. And when it brings us to the level of Tamoguna, anger, at that point, we will lose our intelligence. And when intelligence is lost, then one cannot be able to discriminate what is right from what is wrong. Then one falls down again. So the falls down begins if we are unable to control our lust. When we are unable to control our lust and we allow it to degrade to anger, then once it is degraded to level of anger, then intelligence is lost. And once intelligence is lost, we find ourselves in a big trouble. Because then when we become angry, then everybody can understand, oh, yes, you are in trouble. They can see that. Okay, so that is why as a devotee, we should try as much as possible to always try to elevate from loss to the mode of goodness. We should not let it come to anger. We should not let it degrade. We should rather upgrade. Don't downgrade, let's upgrade. Okay, so when we detect lust in our heart, instead of allowing it to come down to the mode of ignorance, anger, rather we should try to upgrade and go up by trying to strengthen ourselves with spiritual knowledge, intelligence, knowing that we are not the body, we are not the soul, we are the soul, different from the mind and intelligence. And how can we do so that this lust will not bring us down? We have to always contemplate on this. It's very, very important, actually, because sometimes we act without not thinking. That is why sometimes we always find ourselves in trouble. You know, we just act, we don't think. And when we act without not thinking, sometimes we speak some things, then after saying it, you realize, oh, no, I would have not said that. Oh, no. Oh, Krishna. Then we find out that we have said something that we have not supposed. And once a word is like arrow. Once you shoot it, you cannot bring it back to the quiver. Once you shoot the arrow, it's gone. So that is why we have to think before we speak. We have to think before we act. That is the only way we can at least control lust to some extent. There's a very good example given of a lady eating in the restaurant. So the lady was eating in the restaurant, and somehow from nowhere, a cockroach came from nowhere. And a cockroach just perched on the body of the lady. And immediately, the lady started reacting. Started reacting, and she was jumping. She was reacting. And then the barman came to the lady, and he was just studying the situation. And he saw the cockroach. The cockroach was just perching on her body, but she was dancing. She was not even seeing the cockroach, where the cockroach is, or what the cockroach is doing. She was just dancing because she's not thinking. And the bar attendants just came, calmed down, picked the cockroach, and threw it outside. And the whole drama was finished. That is the difference between reacting and responding. Okay, we should learn to respond, but not to react. When we react, we say things without thinking. But when we respond to action, situation, we think, what should be done in this situation? What should I say? In that way, we take control of ourselves. We don't let our passion to take control of us and do things we later regret. It is said that the pain of restraint is better than the pain of regret. Okay, there are two kinds of pain in this situation. When you restrain yourself, it's painful. Also, when you have done something and you start regretting, it's very painful. So which pain do you want to tolerate? Is it the pain of restraint or the pain of regret? The pain of regret is always more painful. Oh, I would have not done that. Oh, Krishna. But the pain of restraint is only painful when you are not doing it. But after that time, you feel very happy and very strong. Oh, very strong. Krishna, thank you. I overcome it. You feel more happy after that. But the pain of regret, you can continue to lament for a long time. It may spoil your whole day. It may spoil your whole month. Just regretting. So the pain of restraint is more better than the pain of regret. So, and we can always do this when we respond to situation, to action. We should not just react. Sometimes when we don't know what to do at a particular situation or at a particular time, we should just don't do anything. Be silent. The best action when we don't know what to do is to be silent. If you don't know what to do, just be silent, think over it. Then and also there's always this saying that whenever we are hungry, we should not take decision. Because when you are hungry, you will always make the wrong decision. Always, 100%. Because you are hungry. So you are only thinking about now. You don't think about future. So you are going to make a wrong decision. So when you are hungry, just calm down. Don't do anything. Don't take decision. In that way, we can always, control our hunger. We should not let it, because all of us, we have this anarthas in our heart. There are 6 major of them. Lust is number 1. When lust is not satisfied, it transforms into anger. When lust is satisfied, it transforms into greed. You see, it's always progressing. When it's not satisfied, you become angry. When it's satisfied, you become greedy about it. You want more. You never satisfy. You see? So that is one thing about lust. So satisfying it is not the best solution, but tolerating it. When we tolerate it, and higher than tolerating is engaging our propensity in Krishna consciousness. When we become Krishna conscious, then we get purified of that desire. Very, very important to become Krishna conscious, to engage our propensity in Krishna consciousness. Very, very important. If we really want to purify our tendencies, it's very, very important to be Krishna conscious. Very, very important. Okay? So is that okay, Mataji?
Very okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other comments, contribution? Because now we come to the end of today's chapter 3, and on Friday we are going to do. If we have the student handbook, you go to page 26. Let me share it. If you don't have it, I will share with you. I think. Let me just take you to page 26. I think Mother Tripura doesn't have it. We'll share with you. Don't worry. So in page 26, you see this Purva Swadhyaya. Are you seeing my screen now? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So in this screen, you see what is the significance of the Sarastra saying Mamaka in 1.1? Why was the Sarastra fearful? 1.1. How was Sanjaya able to see the battlefield? 1.1. What is the significance of Duryodhana saying the Mata Tabat Shishena? 1.3. Only the vow Bhima made after gambling match. 1.4. Why was Duryodhana confident of full support of Bhishmadev? 1.11. So when you read all this, they're already giving us where to read. Then you already prepare for the examination. Is it difficult? Is it difficult? Please tell me.
No, Prabhuji.
It's not, Prabhu.
Generally, the examination, they don't give us answer. But this one, all the answers are there. So it's very easy. You know, the examination means you have to find the answer yourself. But here, what we are doing actually is that we don't want to strain you. We just want you to remember some key points in what we have studied so far. That is what we are doing. So if you can just take note of this key point, at least you will know that you have learned something. That is what we are trying to do. So we are not giving you an exam to test how much memory you have, how much intelligence you have. No, we want you to remember some key things we have studied so far as we are going. So that is why I will always encourage devotees, please take time to go through these references and just try to take note of them. Come to the exam hall, just write down the answer and you are good to go. Okay. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So are we ready on Friday? Are we ready on Friday?
Yes,
You only have tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. Then Friday we'll come and do this. Or see, yes. Aruji, your answer is up. Yes, tell us.
So it's just number 1 to 11.
Yeah, from up to chapter 3.
Up to chapter 3.
Yeah. You see?
Okay.
Yeah, it's there in your book. So I'm still thinking how we want to do it, because I don't want to do the computer-based test. Then you say, oh, Prabhuji, I got it right. The computer marked me wrong. Oh, no. Yes, Mataji. Unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna,
Yes.
Prabhuji. For some reason, the handbook that you've sent us, we cannot open it anymore. So I don't know why.
Yeah. Okay, I will send it again to the group.
Yes, so Mata Tripura can have also. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So what happened is that we're thinking, how do we do this examination to make sure that we have learned this? So I want your discussion now, because I'm thinking if you follow the same process of using the computer base, then you come and tell me, oh, Babu, I wrote the correct answer, the computer marked me wrong. physics. So I'm just thinking what to do. What should we go? What is the best way to go about it? Let's discuss. The best, the person who have the best idea, we go home with good prize.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, like what about the Word document? Submission of Word document?
You said?
Word document, like we need to type in a Word file and send it to you.
Okay. So very good. So what I'm going to do is that, yeah, that is a very nice one.
Yes.
So on that day, we come here, and how do we know that you have not done the examination before the time?
You give a deadline and we will be submitting by that time. Like,
yeah, sorry, unmute yourself, please. You say what?
yeah, you give a deadline and we will try to submit prior to that time. So the late submission won't be accepted by you.
Okay, that is a very good one. Now, what I'm thinking is that on Friday we're going to do this, and supposed to be closed book test means that we all come to one place and we do it without opening our book, without opening any book. So then, just like you suggested, yeah, devotees open their Word book, Microsoft Word, and type the answer there, and they submit here while we are watching them here. Is that okay? Or like we do it from 7 to 8, 1 hour?
Yes,
Any other
Prabhu.
contribution?
We can
We do like
send, yeah, we can do like that. We can send it over to the chat.
Okay, so we come together. You all show me your book that nothing has been written there, and then we start. Then I need to look for a gadget that will be monitoring the computer to make sure that nothing is.
We copy paste joke.
Now she's telling us what she's going to do. Copy paste. Oh, it's all right. But the most important thing is, I want us to understand these particular, the verses and the purport specifically highlighted in this, or this place. So better to go through them before Friday. I will share the book again in the group. We'll go through them based on what the question is here. Then we'll come on Friday evening and we will write it. And also, let me give you quickly the shloka memorization. 1 minute. 1 to 3. And if you can memorize your shloka before Friday, also very good. And also, I'm going to give you open book question. Okay, you pick one. Now you can pick. Now you can pick. Go to page 31, 32. I hope you can see it, 31 to 32. Are you seeing it?
Yes, Prabhu. We are seeing it.
Yeah, thank you. So you go to page 1 to 31, 32, especially from 1 to 7, you pick a question. Make sure when you are picking the question, you read the category of the question you are picking. Can you see what I'm highlighting here? Mood and mission. Do you see that? Somebody unmute.
Yes, Prabhu.
Do you see what I'm
yes,
highlighting?
Prabhu.
Okay. So there's another one here. This one, preaching application. This preaching application, this personal application. So when you are picking a question, be very careful which one you are picking. When you say personal application, you should know it means you are going to write about yourself. Don't go and copy and paste. Okay, you copy this and submit it. Okay. No. Personal application means you are writing about how you are going to apply that in your life. So most of the things that is going to be in the content of your writing is, after introducing us to what you are writing, why you are writing, then telling us what you are writing, then you have to tell us, I'm going to do this to apply it. You give us the different levels of, or different steps on how you are going to apply it in your life. Is that okay? Then if you are writing about preaching application, it's completely different. In preaching application, you are telling us how you are going to preach it to others. Let me take the example of the question and let us analyze it a little bit. Okay, like question 4. Question 4 is saying, explain in your own words the process of self-control by Krishna consciousness with reference to verses, purport, analogies, and example from the Bhagavad Gita. This to this. How is this relevant for Arjuna's situation on the battlefield, your own practice of Krishna consciousness? Do you see the question? The question is that, how is that relevant to Arjuna's situation on the battlefield and your own practice of Krishna consciousness? Means that you are going to write how that is relevant to Arjuna's, that situation on the battlefield, and how you are going to apply it in your life. Let's take another one. And the question number 5. Explain in your own word how Krishna consciousness is transcendental to Varnashram Dharma, with appropriate reference to Bhagavad Gita 2 and 3. Prabhupada's lecture. Explain how application of Varnashram Dharma can support practice of Krishna consciousness. We discussed this many times when we were doing chapter 3 about how Varnashram Dharma is the stepping stone for man's spiritual activity or spiritual life. We discussed so many things, how we cannot give up Varnashram Dharma, because Varnashram Dharma is part of the society. So we want to have to find out what is my own guna and karma and act based on that. So here is about understanding. What do you understand about Varnashram Dharma? Then you are going to put that knowledge in this understanding, then you can quote. Only when your question falls under understanding, you can quote and write big, whatever you like, and try to convince us what you understand about Varnashram Dharma. That is understanding. Because based on how you quote shows your understanding, how much you understand the topic. So understanding is different from preaching application, it's different from personal application. Then when you are writing about the mood and mission, like the first one, let's go to that number question, the first question about the mood and mission. Let us see it. See, it says, list 3 aspects of Prabhupada mood and mission as revealed in the preface to Bhagavad Gita, and comment in your own words on the importance of this aspect for Krishna. So when you go there, you will see, when you are reading the preface of Bhagavad Gita, you will see Prabhupada's mood. What is his mood? Why did he write the Bhagavad Gita? What was happening in that situation? Who asked him to, so many things. You will see in that preface, what Prabhupada gave so many reasons why he has to write Bhagavad Gita, what is the mission, the meaning with the mission of writing Bhagavad Gita. All that is given in that preface. So you can just bring it out and write about the Prabhupada's moods and mission. Is that okay? Are we with me? Or are we understanding or what is going on?
Yes,
I'm speaking to
Yes, Prabhu, it's clear.
It's clear, thank you. So we are going to pick 1 open book assessment, 1 to 7, to be precise, that is in 31 of our book. Pick 1 to 7, and then you write about it. See, one thing about writing is that writing is like you are doing exercise for your brain. You know, like people want to do gym, you know. So when you are writing, it's like you are exercising your brain, because then you have to think. Many a time we don't like to think. You know, that's why also in our life we just act. We don't think. Okay, anything happen, we react. We become angry. We do whatever we want to do. We don't want to. We think. Thinking is very difficult. We think like that, and that is why you see only very few people are very rich in our society. Those who are thinking, and those who are thinking, they like to take risk also. Many people don't like to take risk. Those who are rich, they take risk. Go close to them, you see they take a lot of risk. A lot of risk. And that is why they become rich. Okay? So thinking is very important. And writing helps you to think. And whatever will help us to think actually is very good for us, because it will make us to be patient. Even though it's a little bit hard, we should do it. So let's don't run away from it. We should not become lazy about it. Let's take our time to give like 1 hour a day, go on our computer, think of what to write. Just give 1 hour a day or 30 minutes every day. If you are having 1 week to do the assignment or to write this, just 30 minutes every day thinking. Just 30 minutes is enough. Okay? We have so many busy days. It's okay, we know. 30 minutes, come to your computer, think about it. Even though if it is 1 line you can write, 2 lines you can write for that day, it's okay. If you are doing that for 1 week, one day you'll be so inspired that you will write more than 1 page. Today, the thing will just be flowing, you know, because now you are doing exercise every day of 30 minutes. Then one day the exercise will just, you know, connect and you feel like writing, you know, like that. So it's very good exercise, because it will help us to exercise our brain also. And the more we exercise our brain, the more we become happy also. So we will pick one and send me on my chat which particular question you are picking. The last day of picking is on Friday. We have only tomorrow. Then you can start writing. Then we can submit. We can submit as an offering for Radhastami. Okay. Radhastami is 11. We have how many days?
Wednesday.
So many
Yes,
days.
Prabhu.
Is it already 1 week? Is it too close?
Yeah, it's already close.
Not so close, Prabhu.
I'm thinking 1 week is enough. What is the date of 1 week from now?
Maybe after Radhashtami, if everyone agrees. I don't know.
Yeah, let me check. Let me check the date here. 1 minute.
Exactly 1 week from now is Radhashtami, Prabhu.
Yes.
1 week. So submit on Radhastami. Thank you. Radhastami. So if you really love Shrimati Radharani, submit on Radhastami. If you don't love her, submit after her, after the Radhastami. So you take it as an offering for Shrimati Radharani. On that day, I think we are going to see the lotus feet of Shri. Actually, Radhastami is the only day they open the lotus feet of Shrimati Radharani to the whole world. You know, we don't see our lotus feet every day. But on Radhastami is a very special day. They wear our clothes so that we can see our lotus feet on that day. So on that day, you should finish your writing and we can collect all and submit it at our lotus feet. So if you don't submit it before Radhastami, we will not submit it. I'm just trying to inspire you so that you can write. Okay. If you submit, it's good. We can submit. If you don't write, no problem. It's okay. You will not, nothing will happen to you, but you will not be able to submit to Shrimati Radharani. Okay. So let's leave it like that. And so pick one before Friday. That is first step. If you're able to submit to me before Friday, after picking one means that you are ready to write. Some people, if you forget, means that you are not ready to write. But it's okay. I don't want to, we are all adults, you know, I don't want to push us so much so that we don't break us. But we should desire to do these things for our own spiritual growth, you know. It's very important. And so we pick one question, and also we should just prepare before Friday for this examination of this. And tomorrow no class means that you prepare for the Friday, okay? 1 day free. Prepare for Friday. Friday evening, we come back here and we just try to answer all these questions and you submit. And we are happy. Then we finish this section, then we start chapter 4 on Monday. Is that okay? Okay.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. So tomorrow we study it. You know, actually studying the scripture is the only thing that gives pleasure to the soul. Just like we eat rice and sabji and samosa every day, is for the body. Studying the scripture is the only thing that gives pleasure to the soul. So whatever we help us to study the scripture, we should always embrace that. So tomorrow, you know, just find your time, go through all this from chapter 1 to 2. It's very simple the way the question is arranged here. Just keep your Bhagavad Gita close to you, keep your jota with you, and as you are seeing the questions, go through the chapter and the purport of that particular place, answer it, go through the answer again and again and again and again. If you take your time to go through it again and again like this, it becomes part of you. We want you to pick all these points. That is why we're emphasizing on it. Then you submit your open book assessment, pick one from 1 to 7, any one of them you want to write, send it to me. Then you start writing it, then submit in the Dastami, then like that. So we are putting all this in together. At the end of the day, this will serve as your assessment to give you certificate. Shishira Damadava Mandel will give you certificate for participation for studying Bhakti Shastri. Okay, and that certificate, when you are going back to the spiritual world, you have to show it. It's very important. You have to keep it and show it. Then only when you have it, you can enter the spiritual world. It's very spiritual certificate is very important. Yes, just like if you want to get job in the material world, you need material certificate. So if you want to get into the spiritual world, you need spiritual. Actually, I have so many of my certificates. The other day, once my friend went to Nigeria, I wanted my wife to send all my certificate. I have all ISKCON certificate. Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Sadachara, Bhakti this, Bhakti that, GBC College, this, that. I was just accumulating them. Boom, 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 boom. You know, I have so many of them. You know, so wherever I go in ISKCON community, I will always find a job. Because I have so many of them in this community. We are all one anywhere you go. Anyway, I did one course also in Bhaktivedanta College. You know Bhaktivedanta College? Belgium. It's in Belgium. Yeah, I did one course. Actually, I did my ISKCON disciple course in Bhaktivedanta College, Belgium. They send my certificate in that, you see? So these things are very nice, and we should try to participate in them. It's the same way we are studying now. That's how they do study there also. Anywhere in ISKCON world, that is the same thing we are doing with what they are doing there. So please take your time and then take it serious and give some of your time to it. I'm very sure in the future, you'll be very happy you have done this in your past. And we can always share the memory, okay? Thank you very much. Already as our time. Tomorrow is holiday. Study, it's going to have your revision class. You revise tomorrow. And then on Friday evening, come back and come and answer this question very wonderfully and be happy. And by that Friday also, please submit one of the open book assess question you want to write. And please, before you pick one, think of it. Do I want to write about personal application? Do I want to write about preaching application? Do I want to write about understanding? Once you get which one you want to write about, then you pick it and you start writing. And please, when you pick it, don't let me come after you before submitting. Submit before Radhastami, and Shrimati Radharamani will give you so much blessings. Hare Krishna. Okay? So, we call it today. So let us all remember, tomorrow as much as possible to revise. Okay, thank you very much. Tomorrow is a revision day. So let us try as much as possible, go through what we have been reading using that our handbook guidance. I'm going to send it back to the group so that we can have it if you have lost it from your phone. Go through it, go through that page. Let me tell you which page you are. It's on page 26 for the open book assessment 31. Go through them and we come meet again on Friday. Hare Krishna. Good night. Sleep
Before
well.
we leave, Prabhu,
Dream of Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna in your dream.
just
Okay.
one picture,
Yes,
Prabhu.
we have our cameraman.
Pitambar, Prabhu, and Achintya Mata, if you can open your camera. We'll take a group picture. Hare Krishna, everyone ready?
Wait, 1 minute, 1 minute.
Pitambar, Prabhu.
Mother
Achintya,
also is there. Mother Indravali, please. Mother Indravali, open
Mother
your camera.
Indravali?
Let's see you.
Yeah, Mother Indravali, please join us. Open your
Mother, are
camera.
you there?
Pitambar, Prabhu.
Maybe she's busy. And Prabhu Pitambar
Okay.
is not there.
Okay,
Pitam-
everyone, look at their cameras. Wear your big
Achintya
smile.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. 1, 2, 3.
3, go.
Haribo.
Hare Krishna.
Haribo. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kuya Kabi.
Thank you, Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Good night,
Hare
everyone.
Krishna. Good night, everyone. See you on